So thanks for having us today. It's a pleasure to be here. As you saw before, it's kind of the same questions. It's like we think it's kind of ridiculous that more than a decade after the smartphones come out, we still don't have accurate location in cities and doors. You can't track things in factories and warehouses. That's because existing technologies just don't cut it, right? GPS, weak signals, they drain the battery, they don't penetrate indoors. Beacon solutions just really aren't scalable across wide area networks. And we think we've come up with the solution, and actually it's all around timing. Since radio waves actually travel the speed of light, if you can measure time to a nanosecond, you can actually calculate location to within 30 centimeters in 3D for any device that emits a radio signal with a known protocol, just by using the signals that are emitted during normal operation. So that means without retrofitting devices, we can track them sub-meter in 3D. That includes things like tracking cell phones, cars, drones, IoT tags, you name it. One of our implementations is actually going to be over 5G. We're actually part of the next release, release 16 of 5G, which will start end of next year. Essentially turns every cell tower into a node in our network. And then any 5G connected device automatically can be tracked, no retrofitting, no battery drain. That has massive revenue implications, just in terms of enabling the smart ecosystem. Everything from tracking phones, indoors and outdoors, for augmented reality, navigation, location-based advertising, public safety, tracking connected cars, not only for lane-level navigation, but from a smart city perspective, from a contextual awareness where all your cars, pedestrians, micromobility is, all without visual line of sight. It's enabling unmanned traffic management for enterprise drones and adding location to a host of IoT devices, again, without any battery drain or retrofitting. That means finally location isn't going to put you in the middle of the street. It knows you're on the second floor in conference room B. Our initial deployments are actually done locally. So instead of using cell towers, we use our own mini readers, like the size of like a smoke detector or like a Wi-Fi router, that we put in factories, warehouses, and construction sites that track local active tags that we put on assets, tools, and people for supply chain purposes. Those mini readers are designed to be plug and play. They've got about 50 to 200 meter read range, sub-meter location accuracy, don't require any visual line of sight, are a lot more robust to multipath, meaning that they can work in very harsh environments, especially relative to signal strength approaches like beacons, and they calibrate in real time. You can actually pick up and move our readers around, which is great for dynamic environments like construction. And so relative to other like local asset tracking solutions like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, RFID, ultra-wideband, not only do we have better read range, we also have better location accuracy, but ultimately where we win is total cost of ownership, because you need fewer readers because the read range is longer, that are easier to install because they self-calibrate and are plug and play. But the real kicker is our tag cost is an order of magnitude cheaper, because we're leveraging commoditized hardware. The value of what we're doing is actually in our signal processing, not our hardware, but just much cheaper. And again, those initial deployments are really around construction sites, warehousing, industrial manufacturing, to get better visibility for your supply chain of where your assets, tools, and people are, so that you can be directed to the part you're looking for. It's 13.2 meters to your right, on row 3, shelf B. We really have got an amazing team to go after this. I'm a serial entrepreneur. My background is actually taking emerging technology to disrupt the supply chain. Our CTO is the smartest guy I've ever met in my life, applied physics PhD and electrical engineering master's from Stanford. Another co-founder is the co-founder of Blue Kai. The rest of our founding team is all engineering rock stars out of Stanford. And our engineering leadership team is really top notch. So our head of hardware used to run hardware at the world's largest GPS company. Our head of engineering ran engineering at the world's top performing GPS company. Additional signal processing engineers, additional serial entrepreneurs and executives from Intel and Amazon, great advisors. So I know a lot of this thinking, this workshop has a lot of design thinking in it. Well, the founder of design thinking, David Kelly, the founder of IDEO, is one of our advisors. Actually came out of his class out of Stanford. We've got great backers. We've raised about $7 million to date from folks like SoftBank and Jerry Ainsman on Cloud. And we've got essentially a lot of the industry leaders and some of our future partners saying great things about us. You've got the head of Accenture saying, we've never seen a technology that enables a smart ecosystem like us. That of Amazon's largest robotic fulfillment center thinks we're going to make significant improvements across our supply chain. That the U.S. RFID Standards Board thinks we're going to take over the industry. And Prologis, the world's largest warehouser, thinks what we're doing is the holy grail of the connected warehouse of the future. And we've got really good initial market traction. We actually have an ongoing engagement with the world's largest warehouser, $20 million in LOIs. We've been working over the last 3 years with a 45-member customer advisory board who've been shaping our product, who are all ready and waiting to deploy it. We've got 3 partnerships with the world's largest system integrators that will be initial go-to-market channel for our local area deployments. And we've got active engagements with nearly 100% of the North American telco players. So if I don't have time to answer your questions, you want to connect later, please just shoot me an email at info@zainartech.com. Happy to take the conversation there. But with that, I'd like to open it up to questions to the audience to see if you guys have any questions on any of that.
We have one question from Michael Minock asking, do you still need to triangulate?
Yeah, so what we do is actually multilaterate. But what's different than like a GPS or things like that, the processing is actually happening on the network, not the device. And so that's exactly how that works. So if you're in range of one of our readers, you get presence detection. It's actually the diagram I have behind me. If you are in range of 3 of our readers, you get 2D location. And if you're in range of 4 of our readers, you get 3D location. Think 3 points to find a plane, 4 points to find a space.
And Michael has a second question. What about your software APIs?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So it's actually a very robust, flexible API that's designed from a local area to be able to essentially be like an immediate plugin to any existing asset or ERP system. It's pretty much with all the industry standards there. And then from a wide area network perspective, yeah, it will also be an API very similar to the Google Maps API.
Great. We have Anders Lindqvist asking, are you relying on coverage for 5G or GPS?
So no reliance on GPS. This is completely separate. For our local area deployments, it's just based on our local area deployments, wherever our readers are placed. For a wide area, it is dependent on 5G. And so it is something that essentially turns every new 5G base station into a node in our network. And then any device that's in range of those base stations essentially can then be location tracked. But again, just using the signals that 5G protocols are already sending, it's actually part of the standards. So as part of our next release. And so there's no retrofitting to your phone. There's also no battery on the phone, because unlike GPS, where the processing happens on your phone, the processing happens on the network. So the network gets a real-time map of where everything is. The device itself doesn't need to be aware.
Okay, great. So Benedict Smith is asking, is there a moat around your business model?
Yeah, so there's a lot. So essentially it's infinitely scalable. So like once we're integrated into sort of the base stations, right, we're everywhere. There's no like hardware changes to any 5G device. So it just scales really, really well. And that's why we're in pretty deep partnerships right now with a lot of the carriers in order to do that. On the local side, yeah, it's once our reader infrastructure is deployed, essentially it really outperforms pretty much everything that's on the market today. And so it also is a lot scalable, it's a lot cheaper, and has better performance. And so it's a pretty strong win-win scenario for everybody.
Yeah, great. I guess you sort of answered the next question for Michael, asking, are you guys deploying?
Yeah, so we're doing some proof of concepts right now with, as I mentioned, like the world's largest warehouser, and we just signed several others, but we got a handful of them. Those will be ramping up to more for sort of broader scale formal pilots that we'll be doing pretty much all of 2021 with mass manufacturing and like widespread commercial launch in 2022.
Yeah, great. You also had a proposal of possible collaboration in Sweden from Anna Douglas, who wrote, I think she wrote a direct, she tagged you in that message. You'll be able to look at her link.
I will take a look at the link. But yes, we're very open internationally on this. It's very scaled. It's mostly software. So it is relatively easier to be deployed anywhere, especially on wide area networks. And locally, a number of our customer advisory board members are global.
Great. Now, Jawad Masood asking, are you planning to reach out of the European Union? Or out to the European Union?
To them. So in terms of deploying in the European Union, absolutely. And if there's a specific question there.
Yeah. And someone asking for the exact address to your website, ZaiNarTech.com.
You'll notice we're still relatively in stealth, so it's just be a landing page. However, we're in the process of updating that. So by the end of the year, it'll be a lot more information.
Okay, so that's great. Right, see if we have any more questions coming up. Cool stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, we think it's super cool.
Yeah, it looked really cool in your presentation. What was your MVP like? Question from Amit Perez.
So our initial MVP, right? So again, we've been doing this the last 3 years, was actually using off-the-shelf software-defined radios. That's what we use as our readers, and essentially off-the-shelf ISM band transceiver tags. And that's actually what we actually still use for our local deployments, just a little bit more advanced versions of it. But all the hardware is off the shelf. And so these devices look like the size of like a large Wi-Fi router that you literally just kind of put in various places on a construction site, a warehouse, that track the location of these battery-powered tags that we put on things and have things move around.
So Thomas Jansson asks, what size of drones can carry your device?
Yes, so it depends on the application, right? So from a 5G perspective, there's no hardware, right? So this is purely if you have 5G, the drone can be tracked, right? So it doesn't drain your battery and there's no hardware change. That's, again, answering the question from earlier. It's like way more scalable. You can just add a capability as long as you have connectivity. Now, if you want to do track drones with our tags, our tags are less than 100 grams, so you can put that on a drone of most sizes. If you wanted to put a reader on a drone, you need a bigger drone that you can support, like carrying like a Wi-Fi router type of thing. And there's some interest in doing that actually, especially from like a drone swarm coordination type of thing.
Okay, great. Well, time is up actually, so we need to wrap up and say thank you very much. And now it's actually back to the main stage. Where the
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. And again, feel free to shoot me an email at info@zainartech.com, and look forward to continuing the conversation. And thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much. And now back to the main stage again.